Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and lo and behold, Death of X is bi-weekly. I really need to pay attention to this stuff more often. Anyway, Death of X, Episode 2. This is what I'm talking about. This is great stuff right here, and I'm going to tell you straight out. This was a really deep book. Wow, this book was deep. Guys, breaking right into this, we start off with Storm going up and talking to Medusa of the Inhumans. Now, Storm is one of the representatives of the mutants, but, kind of like any huge group, you're going to have lots of people who say that they're the claimants and they're the people who are in charge of said group, and not always fair. So Storm is the peaceful one, and she still had her doubts because mutants as of late have really had nothing but doubts. So she goes up and she talks to Medusa. She had to see her face to face and understand her reaction when she made it, when she told her that, hey, your Terrigen Mist is killing us and our people. So Medusa's actually shaken by this. She's just beside herself, and she asks several questions, and are you sure? And yeah, so she clearly didn't have any idea what to do about this. And Storm explains that she didn't know what to think about what she was going to say or her involvement in it. But nonetheless, as she's on her way out, Medusa really does start to buckle down and think about it, and knows that she and all the Inhumans have to be very, very careful as to what happens from this point on. She very quickly summons Crystal, her little sister, and she tells her, listen, you got to send the RIV, the Adelan Mobile Headquarters, over to Madrid, because that's where the Terrigen Mist is going next, and apparently there are going to be a lot of mutants there. And Storm has agreed to help out by having one of Forge's devices to locate mutants, to help them out, to be able to extradite these mutants before they get hit by the mist, because some are being killed outright, some are just getting sick, and some are completely unaffected, and you just don't want to take that chance. So no sooner did these two part when suddenly there's a psychic message that goes out. Now, you got all three of the Cuckoo sisters, so aptly named, and you got Ileana Rasputin, Magic, and you've got Emma Frost. These five mutants, powerful telepaths in their own right, they actually combine their forces and they speak to every single person in the earth and translate so that every single person can understand. And Scott Summers goes into his typical Scott Summers diatribe, because it's him who's being broadcast, and man, just filled with the hate. And he says, yeah, these Inhumans knew what was going on, and they're killing mutants and humans. So they're liars. They lied to you guys, and you're all going to be killed. So many of you are going to be hurt and killed, and you should be afraid. Flee, run away, and be afraid. Yeah, once again, I'm reminded of Zootopia. Fear always works. And it works here. The people in Madrid are freaked out. Well, Crystal and Iso are both there with their wind powers, and they're able to try and push this cloud away, because they got in there so late, and if they were able to get there a little bit before Scott's message went out, they would have been able to have everybody calm and just politely, calmly collected the mutants and brought them to safety and explained the situation. But now with Scott's comments, it's pure chaos and riots down there. People actually beating the living snot at each other. So, yeah, it's kind of a precarious situation thanks to Scott and his fear-mongering. Wow, fear-mongering works so well in the world, right? Message. Well, they're trying to use their wind powers to push the Terrigen Mist away from Madrid. Unfortunately, they're just not powerful enough, and they're saying just keep doing it for as long as you can, and if it kills us, then it kills us. We got to do what we can. Well, fortunately, Storm shows up, and yeah, Storm, her weather manipulation is second only to Thor. So she uses her wind powers, and all three of them just push away and pretty much disperse this T-Mist cloud. Now, Storm is eternally grateful, and she explains as much. And she says, you were willing to risk your lives to help mutants, to help my kind. I will not forget this. And, Storm, her word is as good as her bond. So that's a really big thing. Crystal, however, is thinking more than this, not just about the humans. She's thinking about everybody that's down there. She says they're still rioting. Well, Daisuke, and you may remember him from last issue, he was the brand new Inhuman who sprung up from that cocoon in Japan. Crystal asks him to start using his powers to calm people down and put them to sleep. This way they can try and discharge the situation from there once everybody's kind of rested and put out. He's not sure if he can do it, but he's going to do the best he can, and it is kind of unethical, but Crystal can only use what she can at the time. And unfortunately, she's going to wind up affecting everyone, including Storm, who'd already started leaving. Well, Storm does fall asleep along with everybody else falls asleep. And go figure, somehow, Scott winds up getting videotape of that. And he uses that as baloney propaganda to point out that, yep, the Inhumans, they attacked us unprovoked, and completely ignores the fact that they just stopped their sacred Terrigen mist from spreading across Madrid. It's some people, man. Some people. To be honest, I never liked Scott. Scott's literally in the camp with Iron Man with me. I just really don't like either of them. Whatever, man. Whatever. Now, Colossus shows up to mourn at Mur Island and meets up with his sister, Liana, Magic. And they go and they talk a little bit and they decide, you know what, we got to figure out what's going on. And Emma and Scott aren't talking to anybody. Let's go and make them talk to us right now. So they go in there and, yeah, Emma and Scott lay down the law and say that they've got to do everything that they can within their power because it's gotten too far at this point. Quotes, supposed to do quote marks there. And, of course, they enlist the help of Magneto, probably one of the biggest world terrorists of all in the Marvel Comics. Yep, gotta love it. So, Magneto's going to be back in action.
So that's it. Prey fears Predator and you stay in power?
Yeah, pretty much.
It won't work.
Fear always works.
Guys, I'm giving this book a solid B+ because it was really good. The intellectual part of it was great. I was just kind of upset that the action felt really rushed. The whole book actually felt kind of rushed. But I do like the political intrigue here. It's not what you usually get in a comic, but this is good. It's good stuff. So B+, Comic Book University's grade. Professor Bell, class dismissed.